My boss refused to call me by my real name. I worked hard to land my dream job, but from day one, my boss, Mr. Carter, refused to call me by my real name, Zara. It's too hard to remember, he chuckled. Zoe suits you better. At first, I thought he was joking, but days turned into weeks, and suddenly, I was Zoe. My coworkers followed his lead. I corrected them, but they just shrugged. It's not a big deal, but it was. Zara means righteousness in my culture. It was the last word my grandmother spoke before she passed, and here, it felt like my identity was being erased. One day, in a team meeting, I heard him introduce me as Zoe again. My hands trembled as I stood up. Actually, my name is Zara. I'd appreciate it if you called me that. Silence. Mr. Carter smirked. Relax, Zoe. It's just a name. I clenched my fists and smiled. Then I'll call you Mr. Clueless. A few people chuckled. His face turned red. That night, I posted my story anonymously on Reddit. It blew up. Hundreds shared their own experiences of workplace discrimination. The next morning, HR called me in. Turns out, I wasn't the first. After an internal investigation, Mr. Carter was fired. His habit of renaming employees had finally caught up to him. 2 weeks later, at my new job, my boss smiled and said, "Nice to meet you, Zara."